Right, well, hello, there we are. We are back again with Horrific 2025. We've just shown some more shorts on this big screen. Guys, first of all, let's go down the line and tell me who you are and what short you have a part in.
So, I'm Fred Winter, writer-director of The Worms of the Earth.
I'm Callum Wilkins. I'm the writer, director, producer of Earthen.
Hello, I am Alessio Cuboni, the director of Liver.
Hi, I'm Qasimi. I'm the director of Eximo.
So, first of all, tell us a little bit about where these movies came from in your heads. What was the original inception, the original idea, and why was this a story you wanted to tell?
Yeah, I mean, where do ideas come from is always a difficult to answer, but I guess I wanted to do something genre, but that had an edge to it that was exciting, but at the same time could capture a little bit more than the traditional just a scare type of horror movie that we see quite a bit. And that was, and I've been brewing on a few ideas around that, and they kind of came together. So that's I tried to find an unusual concept to pair with just the post-apocalypse, general post-apocalypse idea. So to make it a little bit less standard, so to speak.
So the idea for Earthen came, I just moved back home with my parents after uni and wasn't mentally doing great and just went for a walk, just trying to come up with film ideas and whatnot. And the first image of the film, which is like a blue child's mitten on the end of a tree branch, was what I saw on a walk, and I was like, wow, that's sort of a weird like juxtaposition of images. And the more I sort of thought about that image and like, well, where did it come from? What was the kid that left it there? Why is it there? I just sort of spun this story about loss and grief and trying to find some sort of a connection and a solace in nature. So it kind of started from there, but then also wanted, like yourself, wanted to do something that's not just a sort of a stereotypical folk horror thing, and want to do something more psychologically and not really give a lot of answers, but ask a lot of questions was the main thing.
Sorry for my bad English.
Sorry for us.
Okay. My short is an horror love story inspired by an ancient Japanese legend. And I want to make a film that tells about what we can do for the people who love. Stop.
Well, Eximo started about 5 years ago in pre-production. It's very different, as you see it on the screen, from the original screenplay. But the idea for the film was a completion of a trilogy of stories that I've written. And I was quite inspired by some of my favorite films like Bicentennial Man and the element of sacrifice for people you love. And so that was the culmination and the ending of it.
So we've got some quite serious in tone, still quite horror, but serious in tone shorts here as well. But what would be the one thing that you would want audience members to really take away from your short when watching them?
Oh, someone else.
I love this.
So repeat the question.
What would be the one thing that you would want audience members to take away from your short? Like that one message that you were trying to sort of hammer home and.
I would say to believe in love and to follow your heart, no matter what.
Yes, it's the same for me because it's a story of sacrifice for the people who love. And yes, the same thing.
I would say that grief comes in many different forms, and that people can grieve differently, and every expression or form of grief is okay. It's however you get on and move through whatever you've been through.
So I'm going to echo a few comments over here. So my story is definitely about love and sacrifice as well. That's what I'm saying.
With these shorts, filmmaking's a journey. It's learning all the time. What would you say with these shorts that you guys have made now is probably the biggest thing that you've learned about filmmaking that you maybe hadn't honed in on, but also learned about yourselves during this process?
Probably that you can invent your way out of a lot of problems even if you have no real budget. The film is a micro-budget proof of concept, and we really didn't have any money to do this at all. Unfortunately, I have a good producer, Dan Robbins, and who was really great to work with. So we had many issues. For example, getting a good location. We had to do special deals and do favors, and the makeup and all of that is kind of incredible. To the fact that basically no one was paid. So,
what would you say was maybe the wildest sort of, this is never going to work when you're trying to, obviously it's independent filmmaking, isn't it? So you're kind of like hodgepodge things. But what was the one thing that you thought wasn't going to work but absolutely did work that you thought that's just wild?
Well, I think there was a point when I was a bit unsure about the creatures we created, and I felt they were a little bit too unoriginal in the start of the project. So I went in and made these drawings, and then after, but it wasn't until I could actually see what the makeup artist, a very good makeup artist, actually did with it that I thought, okay, maybe this will be a bit scary, you know. So yeah, I would say that.
One thing I learned on this, this one was one where I'd say, like, if you're going to trust an actor, trust them. Like, fully surrender and give the role over to them. Don't try and, micromanage tiny little things. Like, it's their role, give it to them. And Agnes, who was the lead in it, and Ruben, who was also in it, were just brilliant to work with, and just an absolute pleasure, and they were brilliant. In terms of myself, I would say, just believe, believe in myself more, believe in the vision that I have for this film and other films that I've done since. Like, just have the confidence and know that, like, people are here for a reason. You've hired the right people. They all want to deliver what you're trying to do. So as long as, the vision's good, just believe in yourself.
And with that in mind, was there anything that maybe a member of your crew or a member of your cast, was there anything they did on set that really surprised you and thought, that's gold, that's staying?
Well, the fly was not on the phone was a surprise, but I would say on set there was one thing in post which was a really big thing, which is the sort of the montage at the end where you sort of realise that she swallowed the seed earlier on, and that was something that me and Agnes had kind of spoken about, of like, we want this to. She's kind of been passive, the character, throughout the majority of the film, but we really want her to have an active component. And I think when she said, like, why doesn't she just decide to take it? She doesn't know what the repercussions are, but why didn't she just decide to do it? I was like, that's it. That's exactly what the film is missing. So, yeah.
Okay, it's a very low budget film, my shot, and so about this experience I learned how to spend the money and coordinate the crew, and also direct the actors, because it's my first project. The other project was very little.
And have you absolutely caught the bug now and you're going to continue? You're going to make more movies, features, shorts?
Yes, yes. I am writing now a feature film and also pilot episode of animation series.
Nice, nice. And yourself?
I think I'm going to echo what everyone was saying. It's to really have confidence in yourself and to trust your team. In particular for me, I found it very helpful to have a very strong first AD who kept us stuck on time with the shots that we had. And definitely have a very good production designer if you're doing interior shots. So, yeah, I guess that's it. Really.
And everybody's inspired by someone. Everybody got into filmmaking because, it's a joy they saw as a child, whatever. Like you saw movies up on the big screen, you're like, I want to do that for the rest of your life. If you could show your short movies to any creative, any director or anyone like that, and for a little bit of feedback, could be alive or dead, who would you show this short to and why?
Robin Williams. It's my favorite actor. And since a child, I've always enjoyed his films, and especially Bicentennial Man, as you mentioned, it was one of my inspirations.
David Lynch,
Popular
of
answer.
course, because he's my favorite director, and also Stanley Kubrick, because he inspired me so much since I was a little child.
It's not my answer. Yeah, I was going to say David Lynch as well, just because the storytelling it was inspired by Lynch's films and the way that he just asks questions and gives you maybe 10 answers or 10% of the answers and then just says, well, work it out yourself. So I would have liked his input or opinion on it.
So there's so many, but I'd probably pick on this one Guillermo del Toro, simply because I think I share a little bit of a sentiment on filmmaking, in the sense that his films, at least when they're at their best, are very imaginative, but at the same time quite brutal and emotional.
And every creative, because obviously you're agonizingly, painstakingly going through these movies in the post-production process, can tell me what's wrong with their movie when they see it up on a big screen like that. You can point out every little flaw. But I like to spin that around, and I like to make it a bit of a positive. So what have you seen today up on the screen, or whenever you watch this movie up on the big screen, that you're particularly proud of? A shot, a scene, a moment, a part of the cast? Is there a moment up there you're just really proud of?
I think that the performances are really good, and I'm really proud of both what Agnes and Ruben have done. I think their work is great. Ruben's just has a really just physical presence, and I mean, Agnes is just amazing. I just loved working with both of them. But yeah, just the way Agnes can maneuver through one emotion to another, especially it kind of maybe comes across. I feel like it's really hard to do because there's not a lot of dialogue in the script, so it's just it's mostly reacting to trees or to Ruben, so there's not a lot there to work with, but yeah, I just think it's amazing what both did, and I would say the music and the cinematography as well here, watched on a big screen like this with all the surround sound systems, just made me really appreciate what Elliot Lush and Mira Royal, DP and composer, did on the film.
I am very proud about the scene of when the girl ate the liver.
What was that? It wasn't an actual liver, was it?
It was a very liver, yes, it's a true liver.
Oh wow!
And the actress told me she's not sure about eating since the action.
I wonder why.
But she made it. So, and after the scene, I vomit.
And bought a McDonald's.
There's not one scene in particular I would favor over the other, but I think the production was very collaborative and everyone helped everyone with whatever they needed, and yeah, I'm just very proud of the whole cast and crew for sticking with it and getting it done.
Sorry, one for you as well. Sorry.
Yeah, I would probably echo a bit what was said last. I think it's not really one particular moment, one particular thing. It's more the kind of strength of everybody wanted to help because they believed in the project, and that was incredible. There's so many things I'm really proud of. Of course, you see, just as you say, the little bits that you want to change. But one thing that I think works really well is actually the music. I think the music is a bit, for some people, probably a bit of an unusual choice for this kind of film. But I think that we did that extra work we did with that was worth it.
So, do we have any questions out in the audience? You are going to have to shout, unfortunately, because I don't have any mics. But do we? Yeah, Chris.
What was your best bribe to get someone to work with you on the production?
So the best bribe.
Bribe, yes, yeah.
Bribe. I mean, when you, in my case, when you're not really paying anyone, it's mostly a matter of making people see in a genuine way how this can progress, what their own goals are. So I would say that's the kind of best bribe you can give them. That you motivate them by saying this could be interesting for you to show.
I'd agree with that as well. Best bribe. I would say that I'll explain the reward first and then go back to the bribe. So two of my friends who we run Colossal Production with, Brad and Elliot, used to work at a kit rental house, and we managed to get something stupid like $4,000 worth of kit completely for free because we shot on an Ariel Alexa Mini. All we had to do was just pay for the insurance. So my bribe was friendship.
I actually have another one. My producer had made a great deal with for the location, which was usually about £3,000 a day or something like that, and we got it for a fraction. It's just simply because he made a deal to promote their location. It was some sort of game area to his endless followers.
Bribe, what is it? Is advice.
Like a favour, like something that you gave to someone or you did for someone to get them to give you part of the film or do something on film.
I don't know. Believe in yourself and make film also without money.
I would say my bribe to the cast and crew was good food. So
Nice.
I quite enjoyed that.
Do we have any other questions? Yep, got one at the back.
I'd love to know from each of you, what's your kind of future goals with this project? Are you looking at doing new things entirely? What's the plan with that? If you have one, you might not. I'm sorry, I don't want to assume anything, but yeah, if you'd love to know if you want to further or TV shows in the past, films on the cards, things like that.
Well, mine is more or less the third film I've done, and it continues a story that I've written for my first two. So ideally, I would like to adapt all three into a feature and include more things into it in the future.
Excuse me, but I don't understand the question.
Future plans with this short, or what you would like to see it do, or where it could go?
About this short
This
or
short.
another project?
Was it this short or any project?
It's ideally with this short, if it was finishing the short or trying to progress it further, I'd just be interested, yeah.
I don't know. Now is it was only short, idea short, because I'm writing another project now. But maybe in the future I can write the future. I don't know now. I'm focused about another project.
It's hard enough to make one short,
Yeah, I think the plan with this now is just to put it on YouTube in a few months and put it on our Colossal Productions on YouTube. Just to put it on there and just release it into the wild. I did for a moment think about maybe, you know, does the idea have legs enough to sort of build into a feature? Tried a few ideas and possibilities and just thought, like, I think it's just a short, but did try. But I think I'd like to still do something within like the folk horror genre. I think potentially as a feature. I have a few ideas, but nothing concrete, and definitely not ready to start writing that feature yet for that one. So.
Yeah, we're quite hyped up and excited about trying to promote this into feature film to get money for that. We have, in my opinion, I have a quite exciting slight change and development of this concept actually that I think makes it even more high concept, but we would like to make it into a feature film. So that's our plan.
Any more questions? So I'm going to wrap it up with a question that seems to have become my thing for this festival. I've decided that I'm going to make a puppet festival in the future. If you guys could remake any classic movie using only puppets, what classic movie would you remake with puppets?
Good question.
That is a hell of a question. The Sound of Music.
I'm thinking about it.
Pulp Fiction.
Oh, nice. Puppet Fiction.
The Thing.
Nice.
Let's do Modern Times. Charlie Chaplin.
Awesome, awesome. Guys, thank you for submitting your movies to the festival, letting us show them up on the big screen today, and most of all, thank you for being here to do this. It's great to see you, and I wish you all the best in future projects.
Thank you very much.
Can we get a little round of applause?